I'm Michael Halperin, and I wrote Writing the Killer Treatment, Selling Your Story Without a Script. I've been writing screenplays and television for many, many years, and I've also been teaching screenwriting and television writing as well. And one of the things that I've noticed on many, many occasions is that new writers, fledgling writers, neophyte writers is difficulty actually getting their stories told. Very often they have great ideas, but ideas are worth absolutely nothing until they become a screenplay, until they become a story that you can turn into a screenplay. Now, fledgling writers usually stare at that blank page as if it's some kind of huge obstacle. And it is, since you have to fill the page with cogent, clever, fascinating action and dialogue that's going to interest both the reader, someone who's going to buy the material, and also your audience once it's made. It's all part of the creative process. And the blank page can be very, very scary. An answer to that dilemma, in my opinion, resides in a process called writing the treatment. And my book, Writing the Killer Treatment, outlines much of the process, but let me give you a few ideas that are in the book so that you can get a notion of what we're talking about here. Some writers view writing treatments as sort of a necessary evil. The reality is that they are one of the most effective methods for developing a story. First of all, it's really the roadmap to the screenplay. It's as if you write out the treatment, the story, and it's as if you're riding in a hot air balloon over a landscape. And you look down and you can see all the potholes and the cul-de-sacs and all the places that have dead ends. And it's a way of sort of manipulating the story so that you can get rid of many of those things, but also develop all of the wonderful plot points that you require to make a screenplay. Treatments are the first major step toward the development and the creation of screenplays or teleplays. However, they should never be viewed as something that is a permanent document, because the treatment must be viewed as a dynamic vision that changes with stories and characters who push the story forward, and their motivations, the characters' motivations. Because these are very fluid themes within the story. They present the basics, including plot and subtext, conflict and resolution, as well as the overarching theme or moral of the story in a clear, concise light. The treatment becomes, in a sense, the searchlight that we all use, cutting through the darkness and illuminating those moments of drama and comedy necessary to spark the imagination. And if you read Writing the Killer Treatment, you will see not only how I present the notion of writing treatments, but also how well-known writers have also developed those ideas and how they've used their treatments. A good example is one very good friend of mine who wrote an Academy Award-nominated motion picture. His treatment ran 7 pages for a motion picture, while another writer I know wrote a 90-page treatment for his screenplay that ended up winning an Academy Award. So there's no limit, there's no maximum to how a treatment should be written, only that it should be written well and that you know what it's all about and you know who your characters are as you write the treatment. I believe it was Tom Stoppard who recently, in an interview recently, was asked, do you write a treatment or an outline for your plays? And his response was, no, I don't. But I know who my characters are so well that they carry the story forward. Well, not all of us are Tom Stoppards, but we can learn a lesson from that. That while you develop your treatment, you also have to develop the characters who are within those stories so that they carry the story forward as well. When you start your next screenplay, consider writing the treatment first, the story, so that you know all of the problems you may run into. Your screenplay will be a lot easier to write at that point. And I suggest you read Writing the Killer Treatment for pointers on how to develop it. And with your next project, I wish you the best of luck.